Hello everyone on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, it is I, Some of the Fanatic again, back with the next update until end of September for Cyber Dragon. Sorry it took so long to get this one. I've had to wait a little while for the Hertzes to get here because I ordered them during the sneak peek and they took like a whole 2 weeks to get to my house all the way over from Europe. Long story short, we had a version of this that was going to go up, but then I decided to do some tweaking and more testing because I had a severe problem against the Sky Striker matchup. But this, in my mind, is the best build of Cyber Dragons right now until we get September with Cyberload Fusion and Cyber Eternity Dragon. So let's get right into it. So, of course, have 3 Cyber Dragons. Shouldn't have to explain it. This is a Cyber Dragon deck. You can run whichever artwork you like. A lot of people tend to like this one. I asked them which art I should run. They say this one. I'm like, okay, cool. Special summon if you don't control a monster and your opponent controls one. It's been the same since GX. Next up, heart of the deck. Cyber Dragon Hertz. German for heart. 3 Hertz essentially. This is your combo enabler. It's another machine dupe target. So you can machine dupe it, summon 2 other Cyber Dragons. They go for the Effect Veiler or the Infinite Impermanence on you. You can just summon 2 more Hertzes. Then if you have another machine dupe in your hand, you can say, suck it, bitch. So yeah, Hertz, when it's sent to the graveyard, you can add a Cyber Dragon from your deck or graveyard to your hand. And if it's special summon, you can make it level 5. You rarely ever use that effect. You usually just use that the search effect for Galaxy Soldier. So that way you have basically free Galaxy Soldier, free Nova, free Infinity. Next up, core of the deck. Excuse me. Cyber Dragon Core. You guys should know what this does. For those who don't, what rock have you been hiding under? Search any Cyber Spell or Trap card. We've got more of them now, and we got more coming in the future. And if it's in the graveyard, Cyber Spell and Trap is only what's normal summon, by the way. If it's in the graveyard, you summon in conditions of Cyber Dragon, banish it from the graveyard, summon another Cyber Dragon monster from the deck. Next, 1 Cyber Dragon Dry. I keep taking this card in, I keep taking this card out. I have it in there because I like having another Cyber Dragon name. There's 10 Cyber Dragons in... Wait, no. 9, 10... 13 Cyber Dragon names in here. Dry is basically a weird one. You can use him with Overload Fusion to chain block them from Ghost Ogreing your Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon when you're destroying your opponent's spells and traps. And it also combos off of Cyber Dragon Fear. Yes, that's the way this card is pronounced. It's not Weir, it's Fear. 1, 2, 3. 3, right here. Fear. It's German for 4. So, this is confirmed. These Cyber Dragons are German! Heil Hydra. So yeah, Fear is the newest one. Combos with Dry because you... Dry, excuse me. Sorry, having a little bit of voice problems today. Combos with the Dry. You summon Dry. Summon the Fear. Now you have 2 machine monsters. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. Dry becomes a level 5. So does Fear. Hey, there you go. There's your Cyber Dragon Nova Infinity play. Fear is also crucial because it chain blocks the core. So that way they can't ash you. Then you get the spell and trap in your hand. And then you go off from there. Assuming they don't droll your ass. Konami, please ban Droll and Lockbird. If we can't have Maxi, please ban Droll. But yeah, the other effect that nobody really goes for with this, I see a lot of people only running one of it. I personally think that's the wrong call because you just summon any Cyber Dragon monster, summon it. Hey, there you go. There's your Seeger. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Hell, if you have 2 of them in hand, you can just normal summon one and special the other. Again, there's your Seeger. Or, if you want, you can just go into Genius from that. Either way, Veer, it's great for doing stuff. Just adds an extra machine on the board, so that way, say you do the machine dupe, you can summon the Veer off the Cyber Dragons being summoned from the deck. Congratulations, you now have a Seeger and a Nova. You have game on board. Next up, 3 Galaxy Soldier. Shouldn't have to explain this one. It's essentially the honorary Cyber Dragon monster. Combo it with Hertz, Hertz just makes this card even better in the deck. Level 5 machines, so hey, you can make Cyber Dragon Nova with it. Good job. And last machine monster that you can go for in the deck. I'm running one Jizuku, the Star Destroying Kaiju. Basically, it's searchable off of Cyber Repair Plant, and it gets over a whole bunch of different stuff. You can really mess up Sky Strikers with this, because all their spells and traps they require them to have no monsters in the main monster zone. You could just, if you have one problematic card going, like, stopping you from doing your plays, it's a monster, just cure that. Did that against the Fool with Altergeist, and he couldn't activate his Altergeist spells and traps. It was a great feeling. Next up, 2 Effect Veiler. These should be infinite impermanences, but I'm not rich moneybags like Seto Kaiba as much as I would like to be, so I'm running these. If you have the impermanences, run them over this. And 2 Ash Blossom, because I only have the 2 secrets, and it's pretty much good against everything. Alright, that's it for the monsters. Next up, the spells. New spell card, Cyber Emergency. I can't believe they actually printed this card from the comic. But, I'm sort of disappointed that they nerfed it from the comic somehow. Well, they nerfed it and they made it a little better, because in the comic I believe it could search like any machine monster that couldn't be normal or special summoned or something like that. And in the comic, whenever it was in the graveyard, you could just discard a card and add it back, and it wasn't once per turn either. Emergency, the way they have it in the actual game, is you can either do the light machine, that can't be normal summon, and or any Cyber Dragon monster. Very important, Cyber Dragon monster. Then, if its activation is negated, you can discard a card and add it back to your hand. Quick note, this doesn't negate the activation. It only negates the effect, so you can't do it in response to Ash, which kind of bites. But regardless to say, best search card in the deck, even if it's a hard once per turn. You always want to see this card in your hand. And next up, other new Cyber Spell and Trap, Cyber Rev System. I also think that you could possibly run more of this card, and I only see people running 1, and I'm just like, it's a monster reborn for Cyber Dragons. I understand if you're not running a pure variant, because this is a pure variant, by the way, no Sky Striker crap in here. Because I can't afford that shit. I can't afford the impermanences. Hell no, am I going to be able to afford the fucking $90 fucking engages. No. It's not happening. Rev System, it's essentially Cyber Dragon Monster Reborn, or you can just use it turn 1 if you have Cyber Dragon in your hand. Very important, it lists Cyber Dragon specifically. So the monster you special summon from your hand has to be Cyber Dragon, but all the ones that are treated as Cyber Dragon in the graveyard, you can just do that. And then 2 Repair Plants. You might remember in previous builds, I've done 3 of this card. Well, that was before we had Cyber Emergency, and Emergency is just much better. But this card is still really good. Half the time I end up citing out one of them because it's really bad going first, but it's great going second when you have the way to get the Cyber Dragon in the graveyard. Alright. More machine support. 3 dupes. I'm running 3 of this thing now. We have 6 targets. Summon the core or the Hearse, and then you just dupe into 2 other Cyber Dragons. Very important, it has to be Cyber Dragon unless its effect is negated by Infinite Impermanence or Effect Veiler. This card's just going to become even better once Nutster comes out, or Cyber Dragon Next. You always want to see this card in your opening hand, so that's why you run 3 of it. You want to see it as quickly as possible. Next up, 2 Overload Fusions. I keep trying to decide between 2 and 3 on this card. No Power Bond in here, because, well, Power Bond is like, everything Power Bond does, Seeger and an Overload Fusion just does better. But Overload Fusion, you really only have the 2 targets. I've switched going out between 2 and 3 of this card, but because you want to see it as fast as humanly possible, but then at the same time, you don't need Rampage Dragon in order to win. You can easily just win with Seeger and a Nova. So that's why only 2 overloads, because I only have the 2 targets, and having the 3rd one just kind of blows. So, yeah, 2 overload, 3 Called by the Graves, because fuck hand traps. They try and ash you? No. They try and droll you? No. Yeah, Droll and Lock stops this deck just about as bad as Sky Strikers. So, Yeah, it's you need the 3 called by the graves. Just hope they don't have the ghost bell. 1 limit removal. I see a lot of Cyber Dragon players not running this card. I'm just like, why? It's at 1. It's an OTK enabler. Run it. 1 foolish. Because get core engrave, make your repair plant live, dump core, banish and summon, yada yada yada. Monster Reborn, because we can finally have nice things. And the 1 instant fusion. The 1 instant fusion because I only have the 1 target, and I've been toying around with taking this card out too, but unfortunately at the present time I think you still need it. There's just I just can't bring myself to cut it. I've tried and I'm just like, no, it needs it. But yeah, so that's it. Main deck's 40 cards. No Pot of Desires in this one because, well, you kind of need all the monsters in your deck, and you banish 1 of your Cyber Dragons face down. That's pretty much it. So let's get into the extra deck before we get into the side deck, because there actually is a side deck for this one. Alright, first things off. 2 Seekers. I see a lot of people only running 1. I can understand why. You're an idiot. Run 2. I mean, if you have the, especially if you don't have the Boral Sword and you're running a pure version of it, Boral Sword or Borreload, either or, you run 2 Seeger because you can use 1 Seeger to hop into the second one. Because you can literally end a board with Seeger and Infinity and a Chimeratech Rampage that can attack 3 times for 4,200 damage because of this guy. Now, granted, you could say, oh, you should just use the Genius to go into the Seeger. Seeger treats itself as a Cyber Dragon in the graveyard also. That's why I kind of like having the second one. And again, if you have a machine that's not Cyber Dragon, you can just go, okay, Seeger plus other machine into Seeger. Boom. But Genius is a nice alternative, especially if you can summon this thing before you do a machine duplication. Then you can add Galaxy Soldier to your hand, or regular Cyber Dragon, or whatever the heck you want. Jizukiru, maybe, because it's searchable off of this too. And the next one, Linkuriboh, because it's Linkuriboh. I've first started it without this card, but if you brick really bad, because you can brick with this deck, it's very hard, but you can brick. You just summon Hertz, link it into Linkuriboh, and then you have you can potentially go off from there. So yeah, that's it for the Link monsters. 1 Panzer Dragon, only instant fusion target. 2 Mega Fleets. I was running only 1, and then I fought a Sky Striker deck and said, okay, this deck's more of a bitch than I thought. I need a second one. It actually did come up, and I'm super happy I have the second one now. 1 Fortress, because it's good against the mirror match. I actually faced a mirror match, and I beat the guy. He was stupid enough to run the trap card. The trap card sucks. Don't play it until Duelist Pack 3 comes out. Legendary Duelist 3. But yeah, this is for the mirror match and for ABCs. It's like, okay. Okay, you have all those monsters? Alright, fine. Thanks for the free 4,000 beat it, boy. 2 Rampage. Because extra deck space is tight, and I only have the 2 overloads, so fuck it. Only 2 Rampage. This is your OTK card. I've seen some people cut the Rampage out. I can say I understand why, but at the same time, it's like, this is a game button. This, plus this, 9 times out of 10, is game. Speaking of game, potential alternate game button where you don't need the Overload Fusion. Cyber Dragon Nova. And I've been contemplating about putting a 3rd copy of this card in the deck, because there actually was game where it came up, but the game that it came up, if I had the 2nd Mega Fleet, it wouldn't have mattered. And then to go on top of the 2 Novas, 2 Infinities. Because you might as well have the 2. I mean, if you have the situation come up where it'll either be Nova, then you get the other Nova off, you get the Infinity. Easy peasy. And then, because they're all light, it's not a machine, but you can end a board if you start with a Cleafort Genius. You can do a Genius, then you can get a Infinity and a Pallades on the field. And it's... I'll be 100% honest with you guys. I miss Constellars, and I wanted an excuse to run it. And it actually came in super clutch in a couple of games. So yeah, extra deck, 15 cards, a very tight 15 cards. Like, I don't know how the hell I'm going to change this extra deck once Legendary Duelist 3 comes out. But anyways, let's get into the side deck. 15 more cards. Cyber Eltonin. I was maining this card. Then I decided to side it. Because it's useless against everything except the Goki matchup. For those who don't know what you do for the Goki matchup, summon Cyber Dragon, use Chimera Tech Mega Flea, get rid of their extra link, dump Eltonin, bye-bye Goki board. If they don't have anything to negate this, they're gone. 2 Ghost Ogre, because it's good against some matchups. And it's Ghost Ogre. I really shouldn't have to explain it. 2 DD Crow. I'll be 100% honest with you guys. This would be Drollen Lockbird. If I had one! But yeah, I figured DD Crow might be a nice alternative. Assuming, again, they don't have the Ghost Bell. Oh, okay, I summon Kagari. Get back my Engage. DD Crow. No Engage for you. You do not get to use your broken-ass search card multiple times this turn. But, yeah, I'll be 100% honest. This is just because I don't have the Sky Strike, Drollen Lockbirds, which should be banned. But, yeah, it's for the Sky Striker matchup, and who knows? There's probably a rogue matchup that'll come up where you just send DD Crow to the graveyard, they target a thing with Monster Reborn, boom, Crow. No more card. Regeki, because board wipes are nice. 2 Twin Twisters, mostly for the Altergeist matchup, or any deck that's extremely back row heavy. 2 Typhoons, because fuck Imperial Order, and Anti-Spell Fragrance that makes this deck super hard to play. 3-Red Reboot, this is for Altergeist. It's like, hey, have fun with me OTKing you this turn. And this might seem like a weird choice, but I'm also side decking 2 Dimensional Barrier. This is for 1, Invoked, because you don't want them summoning Makaba on your ass. You just chain that to Invocation, and then bump, nope, no fusion for you. Or better yet, side this against the mirror, because you probably will find someone who's playing Cyber Dragons. You side this against the mirror, they can't contact with your stuff. So alright, that's it. That's Cyber Dragons as it stands right now. Again, we are missing 3 key cards. We're missing the Notchster, which is a Shonen Jump promo in Japan, so God knows whenever the hell we'll get that. We're missing Cyberload Fusion. Please, Kamani, please don't bump that up to Ultra Rare. I would like to get 1 or 2 copies of it. And we are missing Cyber Eternity Dragon, because I think Eternity is probably going to be better overall than End and Twin, because Twin you really need Power Bond, and it's just like... It's a great card, and I still have it. I'd run it if I could, but again, the extra deck space is really tight. But yeah, that's Cyber Dragons right now, as it stands, post-Cybernetic Horizon, but pre-Legendary Duelist 3. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, leave any suggestions down below if you think you'd have any suggestions that would make the deck better, aside from the obvious Sky Striker engine, because I don't have those cards, and I'm not shelling out the cash to get them. So like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys later.